Today we're going to look how to set the J80 boat ready for sailing. Sail racing is the team sport. Each in the crew has their own roles. You can start applying that one also for setting the boat to be more effective before the race or training. So each of the team members have their own roles in setting the boat. Usually in the principle, you set the sails or set the things that you usually operate during the sailing, and you have your own zone. This way you're actually not interfering with each other. We start by taking the sails from inside the boat. So inside the boat we usually have jib, can be recognized because it's rolled. Also inside the boat we have a bigger foresail called genoa. Genoa is folded, and today we're going to use jib. In here we're going to put the mainsail. Mainsail is also rolled. Also we need to take the jib sheets as we need them immediately. And once you're inside, you can take your time to inspect that there is all necessary equipment like winch handle, and that there is no water in the compartment. So you check the bilge pump and you check the front watertight compartment that it doesn't have any water inside. Or if there is a water, you can use the pump over here to take the water, and that's kind of role of the maybe helmsman who is on the back, and people like main trimmer and jib trimmer can start setting up the sails. So we'll start with the front sail. Jib trimmer or the bowman take the jib to the bow, and first we need to identify what part of the sail goes to where, and we need just to find the front part of the sail, which is called the tack front corner, and it's easy to see it by that's on the luff of the sail front line. You have those metal hanks that are attached to the forestay. So then you attach the tack using the shackle, and once it's attached, you start to unroll the sail. Then you can sit down here and start to attach the front part of the sail luff using these metal hanks to the forestay. Making sure that as you roll the sail and you attach them, the sail is not twisted and it comes correctly, even if normally all those metal attachments come from the same side. Now it's coming from the left. Still making sure that in case maybe during repair one of those hanks was attached opposite way, so it's actually coming like that and not opposite way. So making sure that the sail is like that and not twisted this way. Also, as we unroll the sail, it's a good opportunity to check that all the telltales are in place. Here is in the place. Here is missing, so one can attach it here. You check the front telltales. Also, as you unroll, you can see that the leech telltales, leech is the back side of the sail, is in place, as well as you check that the buttons are in place and are not broken and bent. Also making sure that, for example, if any of those metal hanks like over here is missing, or if there is any damage to the sail, it's good to report that one and repair the sails. Now, when the whole luff of the sail is attached, can take the jib halyard. In this boat it's a red rope, making sure that the jib halyard is not twisted around the forestay or something, so that it comes nice and untangled over here, and using the bowline to attach the top of the sail here. Next we are going to take jib sheets. So we took them from the cockpit, so you uncoil them and attach them to the clew of the sail. Before we attach them, we make sure that the foot comes from the tack of the sail untangled and not twisted around like that. Then we take the jib sheet and use the bowline to attach it to the clew. We attach the second jib sheet, and then we take jib sheet and make sure that jib sheet is running freely, that there is no knots or untangles, and then we make sure that it does not go through any of this unnecessary rope. So we move the spinnaker pole out of the way in its correct position between the shrouds and the jib car, and we put the jib sheet through the first block, then take it to the second block, and then making sure it goes under the override preventer, and we put the figure 8 knot at the end. Similar way, we set the jib sheet on the opposite side of the boat, on the starboard side. After jib is set, we take some slack away from the jib halyard, and now we switch to the main. Same way, we need to figure out which side of the main goes where, so you can recognize the tack of the sail front corner by finding where is the luff of the sail, and luff of the sail has those plastic hanks attachment which goes inside the groove of the mast, as well as there is a Cunningham hole over here. Now we take the mainsail tack and attach it to the pin. You make sure that the pin doesn't fall, don't lose it, as it can easily come off from the shackle which is welded to the gooseneck over here. So once it's attached, we unroll the mainsail to find the top of the mainsail. Once we found the mainsail top, it's recommended to immediately take it to the groove to make sure that it's not lying over there and eventually it's not getting twisted and that you are not putting it wrong way with a twist. Now we take then the main halyard from the D-ring, making sure that it's not twisted around the shrouds or spreaders, so it comes nice over here, and we attach it using the bow line. So again, make sure that you have a secure knot so that there is no risk of it opening during the sail. Once it's ready, we start to put those plastic hanks one by one into the mast groove. As you put it here, just make sure that all of them come in the correct order so that the sail is not twisted. Now, as you put all of the hanks here into the groove, you need to make sure that they don't fall out as you release them. One solution for that one is to use the elastic rope and secure it immediately under the lowest hank. You can also use the electric tape if you have. Make sure that don't lose it, or that the pieces of the tape is not falling in the water, and as well that you don't leave it over here and remove it after the sailing. Another option is to use some of the just rope. After you secured the sail in the place to the mast, what you do is that you need to set the Cunningham. Cunningham block is positioned on the starboard side, so you take from the starboard side of the sail through the Cunningham rope, and using the bow line, you attach it to the gooseneck. In other words, to the attachment of the boom to the mast. Now, you take the slack of the main halyard. You just make sure that it's not around the spreaders before you start hoisting the sail. So you need to do it from inside. You put it in the lock, and now it's nicely coming there, and there is no risk for it to tangling with the spreaders before you need to hoist. Now, you make sure that you release all the ropes which are attached to the main boom. So you take lock from the both sides and make sure that the kicker is fully loose. And the second thing, you make sure that the out hole is completely loose. Now, coming back to the back of the boat, we make sure that the foot of the mainsail is untwisted. So we take the clew, so the back corner of the sail, to the groove and attach the out hole. Before finishing with the mainsail, we are going to make sure that we have the sufficient amount of loose main sheet. You open the cleat of the main sheet and making sure now that the boom is coming at least 90 degrees, which is a normal working position for the boom when you hoist the mainsail. If your main sheet is tight and locked, you'll be struggling to hoist the sail into the right position. So at least you check that it comes 90 degrees. This is at least good position. But what you want also to do further is to make sure that it's even loose when you hoist the sail. So you make sure that you lift it like even higher than 90 degrees. So after that one, you make sure that you also take just a few meters away from the working end to ensure that the mainsail would be loose and flapping when you hoist the mainsail. Now, jib is set, mainsail is set. A few remaining things that needs to be done is to release the tiller. Here you also inspect that the tiller is in good condition, that rudder is in place and it's working, and then finally that the tiller extension is also working and is not jammed. Finally, before leaving from the dock, you make sure that everything else on the boat is working. So for example, like winches are working and not jammed, that all the blocks and cleats are in working condition, and backstays in the good condition and it's working. So this is the way you set primary sails like main and jib and prepare a J80 boat for sailing.